Hey there folks, if you're having a lot of your internet leads ghost you very frequently, then you need to check out this video. I'm gonna go into the top reasons why internet leads ghost us and never respond and how you can deal with it. Let's jump into it. Now folks, we've all been there. We have an internet lead come in from either Google or Facebook and we reach out to them and we have a conversation. They respond, they're talking to us. They might be thinking of buying a home now or maybe later, and we get a lot of criteria. We agree to follow up with them, and then boom, they never respond again. They don't pick up the phone. They don't respond to your text messages. They don't answer any of your emails. And you're kind of left scratching your head. Hey, I've been ghosted. This lead is not responding anymore. They were responding at one point. We had a conversation, and then it abruptly ended. Nothing since then. The first step towards fixing this problem is understand you've been ghosted by an internet lead. What can you do now? To answer that, I really need to take a step back and look at the overall internet lead conversion process. Folks, this is 2022. There's a lot of internet leads being generated, more than at any time before. But there's one thing that's more and more frequent. More and more people are jumping on the web to search for homes, to look at inventory, to get headlines, to get news, to get educated earlier and earlier in the process. These leads are not transaction ready in most definitions, in every sense of that phrase. They might not be ready to go. But one thing is certain, almost every single one of them, if they're browsing, if they're thinking, if they're serious about it, will eventually buy or sell a home. This is true. The challenge is marrying that experience with the expectation that most real estate agents have. My core belief is that a mismatch of expectations is the core reason why a lot of internet leads are gonna ghost us. If we are not meeting the lead where they are and taking them on that journey to become a homeowner or a home seller, then they're not gonna be interested in staying in constant communication with us. They are not where we want them to be. And I'll give you an example. If an internet lead comes in and you're talking about what's their time frame, when do they want to be in a home, are they pre-approved for a mortgage, when do they want to meet up and start a tour, then all that lead is saying to you, maybe even mentally, maybe not really saying it to you, is that whoa, not so fast. I'm browsing homes, I don't need an agent right now. They might actually tell you, it's too early for me, I'm not ready for that, follow up with me later. When they say that follow up with me later, they're really saying I don't want to talk to you and I see no reason to talk to you right now, right? All of those questions can actually be leading them off and say, I'm not there yet, I don't need that information yet. And they decide to not communicate with you anymore after that moment because there's no reason to, okay? Now, if the agent in that scenario sees that and then follows up a week, a few days, or a month later and gets no response, that person wasn't serious, I don't want to talk to them. But if you change your mindset and change the approach, you can get a much better result. Instead of asking them, are they pre-approved for a mortgage? You can actually tell them, hey, have you taken a look at the current mortgage rates today? There's a lot of programs out there, and there's even ways to get some of these sellers to help buy down and make your mortgage payments way lower. Do you know anything about that? Would you like some more information? Okay? That is a very different approach. You're trying to educate the consumer. You're trying to educate the buyer. And you gave them a really tangible reason. Did you know that in today's market, you might get some of these sellers to pay down your payment instead of just selling you the home? Holy cow, as a buyer, I didn't know that. Please tell me more. It could be a natural response to that. They might be really curious. And again, it doesn't mean that if they're a year out, they're going to buy right away. But if they learn and are educated on what the market of today looks like, what the inventory means today, what seller concessions they can get today, then they might actually start to consider moving up that timeline. They might actually want to talk to you because you're approaching them from a point of education, of value. It is in their best interest to learn more from you. What other great things do you have to share with me, Gus? Because I want to learn more. I want to be better prepared for when the time comes, whenever that happens to be, that I'm ready for that. Tell me more. That is the reaction you want to get from these potential buyer leads. You don't want them to be turned off by your approach. You don't want them to discard and say, oh, since I'm not transaction ready, you don't need to talk to me. Don't worry about it. No. Or this just having them ghost you, which is the easiest way to tell you that they see no value in talking to you right now. But you can create that value, create that urgency if you try to educate, consult, and coach them to be successful in today's market. Positioning your scripts and objection handling to address someone that's at the very start of their buying journey can give you much better results. Assume that they're not going to buy right away. Take that off the table. Start helping them out so they can prepare for the future with your help. Once you've started with this consultation approach, then every other follow-up that you have with them needs to implement that, needs to continue that consultation and education angle. You need to share content with them that can be educational, a blog post about financing questions, some details and recommendations, the top 3 ways you can improve your credit, the top 3 loan programs in your area that people can use, the top ways you can get seller concessions. These can be your own blog posts. You can Google some of these blog posts out there. Find a way to generate some content that is relevant to buyers regardless of where they are in that search process. Share with them YouTube videos about the local area. If you don't have any, make some. It's a great excuse to make some great content to share with your audience and your potential clients. Content that educates them on the local area, the local market conditions, how to be a winner in this market is great and will keep building your reputation with them as the person that wants to educate them and help them and really, really lead them through this buying journey. It's complicated, folks. It's not easy. If we only look for buyers that are ready to take that last step and start searching for homes, I don't believe we can be successful. Find a way to take those top of funnel buyers through the process and lead them, and you'll get much better results. And guess what? This massive problem of leads ghosting you and not reaching out and responding to you is going to magically disappear or at least be greatly reduced. Why? Because people actually want to stay in touch and they're looking for that guidance and that education that you can give them. But hey, I'm not saying that you should never ask questions to try and qualify and motivate these buyers, but they should come together with value, with content, with different pieces of information. You should always ask, what are you thinking? When do you want to be in the home? What are your plans so far? What's going to bring you to come into the market and get ready and get a great property now? I'm available whenever you're ready. You do always want to ask that question because you're not just the news service and the education service. It is with the purpose of helping them become a homeowner or a home seller. That's the goal. So always make the ask, always qualify, always take the temperature of the prospect at the end of the interaction. But just starting from contribution and from education is going to get you a much, much higher response rate to anything you're sending, whether it's email, phone call, or text. That's it, folks. Hopefully, if you implement these steps and switch that mindset, you're going to get a much higher response rate to your follow-up calls, texts, and emails with all these prospects, and you'll have way less of them ghosting you and going unresponsive. If you thought this video was valuable, please hit a like and please crush that subscribe button. We release a new video with tips and tricks every single week.